Hey, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. It's Lizzie the Light Worker here. So welcome, guys. And today we're working on a Taurus twin flame Gemini union. So this is going to be for a divine female Taurus and a divine male Gemini. And guys, if you would like to see this in reverse, let me know. If you'd like to see any other types of readings, let me know. I got a couple of requests I'm working on, but you know, I'm more than willing to do them, and I like doing them, and I like to do them as quickly as I can for you guys. So anyway, we're going to get right into this. And if you guys have been watching, what I like to do is I get my information out sort of about our divine female, what's going on with her, what does she want out of this, it maybe some things that she's working on, what's her energy level, how does she feel about this relationship. Same thing with our Gemini. And when we come down the middle, we get a few cards out, sort of tells us what the relationship is like between the two of them, how they pair up, maybe some things that they need to work on, some things they're helping each other with, and maybe sometimes we can see if they're in separation, okay? If you're in separation, guys, comment in your zodiac signs and your sexes, and I can do separation twin flame videos. And I can also do updates, okay? So if you'd like to see an update on any of my twin flame videos, please just comment. I do forget, guys. I have a lot of them out there, so but yeah, I love to get to all of them as quickly as I can. Okay, so let's talk about our divine female Taurus. So she, I feel like, now I'm gonna say I already feel like this is in separation because we're getting ending cards here. Death is an ending card, end of an era, end of a cycle, okay? And this is moving on, sort of leaving the past behind, sort of abandoning your station and moving on. Sort of don't even know where you're moving on to. You might not even have a solid plan, but you just get to a point with this card that you feel like you've put in all the work you can put in. You don't even really care to pursue anymore because it's so tiring or it's so trying. And then the King of Swords I'm getting, to me, this could be our Gemini right here because King of Swords is an air sign energy. So I feel like, you know, she definitely saw this end coming. I feel like he may have not been open enough with her. He may have, and I mean open, I mean in a loving way, okay? Like in terms of sharing his feelings, okay? Or expressing himself. He may have just been a little bit colder when it comes to showing love and affection. Taurus needs to feel love and affection. It is part of their sign. They are ruled by Venus, okay? Venus is about love, beauty, luxuries, admiration, and feeling that love and feeling that appreciation, okay? Taurus is very sensual energy. They need to feel love. They need to feel wanted, okay? So I'm not saying that this is a bad pairing between a Taurus and a Gemini, but their signs sometimes don't always sync up the best way because of this, because Taurus needs to feel that love and admiration and physical touch and to feel important. And Gemini is more they're a little bit more secure with just being in a relationship. They're not going to hang all over you every second, okay? They're logical, and they're going to speak, and they're going to communicate well. They're going to tell you if they don't like something, okay? And they're not going to be beat around the bushes about it or sugarcoat anything. They're going to tell it to you in a very flat, very maybe even a harsh way at times, okay? Sometimes they can be a bit harsh, but that's their Gemini sign. They want to communicate, okay? Yeah, so I'm feeling like she just saw that she had to move on from this, okay? I feel like they just weren't pairing up. Maybe they didn't feel like they were on the same page about things, okay? She could have had a hard time communicating with him because she knows that this is the type of guy he is. He's gonna be meet her with I don't want to say this, like kind of cold answers, okay? And I'm not saying Gemini's bad. Gemini's super intelligent, and their intelligence is super sexy, and they are definitely thinkers and doers, and they're all about what's fair, okay? So I don't know too if something unfair happened here, okay? Or he wanted more fairness and balance in the relationship, or she wanted more fairness and balance in the relationship. But let's get some cards out about him. All right, so I feel like he's a bit of a fighter here, okay? I feel like he feels attacked very easily. Like if somebody challenges his opinion or his idea about something, he will go full-fledged argument. I feel like he has this intense need to be heard, where he'll get very upset if a bunch of people are talking all around him and he's trying to talk and he's like trying to convey a message, or he's feeling very passionate about what he wants to say and people aren't listening. I feel like he'll flip out. I also feel like he sometimes gets himself backed into corners and then he lashes out. So I feel like almost a little bit under-evolved Gemini here, because usually Gemini is so good with communication. I feel like he may have a bit of a passive-aggressive issue, if that makes any sense, where he really wants to say these things, he bottles them up, and then he explodes. And it's not because he doesn't know how to say them. I feel like he just doesn't like confrontations, but when he gets in a confrontation, he'll fight to the death. Like, I mean, I get this energy, like he'll rip your face off to be right. And I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm feeling more like he may have been a bit argumentative here in this relationship. Taurus does not like arguments, okay? Taurus has a very long fuse, okay? And by long fuse, I mean it takes them a long time to get angry. They're very slow to anger. Gemini could be quicker with their anger. Or they could flip their face like that because they are ruled by feminine and masculine energies. So I'm feeling like, you know, I do feel like he had an idea of the way he wanted this union to be, but it lacked like the communication piece. It lacked the maturity piece. And there was something about him always wanting to be right, I'm feeling like, okay? So I don't know if down the line, because Geminis can be very apologetic, I feel like he may do some type of a peace offering with her, okay? I also don't know if he offered like a higher level of commitment to her, and because the energies weren't syncing up, that it didn't pan out the way he wanted it to. I feel like he wanted this relationship to be his way. He wanted all the control, or he wanted it to be a lot of his way, the way he sees a relationship should be, okay? And in the end, it's a broken partnership, okay? So, but I do feel like he's thinking about her, and I do feel like he knows that he sort of made a mistake here. I'm not putting all the blame on our divine male here. I am just saying that I feel like in the time that they were together, he was under-evolved. Not an evolved Gemini. He was not on his spiritual journey yet, okay? But I do feel like he is going to start putting that work in. And he is definitely thinking about his future and everything, but I feel like he feels a bit blocked. Like he doesn't know how he's going to move forward, or what he's going to do next, okay? I feel like he's just a little bit of a scattered energy here, okay? Our Taurus has moved on, I'm feeling. I don't know what to. So we're going to get some more cards out here and see what's going on. Okay, I do feel like at some point our divine male is going to come back at her with new ideas about how the relationship could be. I feel like he's going to present himself as a new man. I don't know how she's going to feel about that, because right now I feel like she doesn't even want to look back. I think that she was disappointed in a lot of ways, but I also feel like she knew she had to move on for herself. But I feel like this comes in waves for her, okay? It comes in waves where, like, you know, she has those moments where she's all about herself and she's focused and she's doing her thing and progressing her life and her career and all those things. But then she has a fleeting thought for him, okay? And she does think about him, okay? So I think sometimes she's not sure if she made the right decision. I know she still feels that connection. He definitely feels it. I do feel like he's going to communicate with her. He's going to try. I feel like he's going to offer her new ideas, new passion about a relationship. I feel like he's going to want to set new boundaries with her, have some ideas about commitments, maybe, you know, just in general, I feel like he's going to have sort of a newness to him. And I do feel like she'll answer back. And I feel like this will all happen pretty quickly. In other words, he's not going to wait like 3 days to hear from her, or a week. I feel like she will respond rather quickly here. But I do feel like that they're both still sort of holding on to the ideals about what they both want, and it's like sort of ego ideals, okay? Like not willing to compromise, having all this picture of love in your head, what it should be like, what you want the relationship to be like, how you want to dictate in the relationship. It's almost like you wrote a book about how you want your ideal relationship to be, and you're holding on to it, you're strangling it, like, and not being open, okay? So I do feel like when this communication happens, it's still not going to be the right time, okay? But communication is happening. I do feel like they're going to be able to clear the air about a few things, okay? And that might make them feel a bit better about this relationship, and it's in separation. I feel like they'll clear the air a bit, okay? But I also, too, I feel like even though they're not going to sync up on those energies, they're both feeling like they can't let go of each other, okay? So even though they're doing these things, and she's definitely has started her spiritual journey, and she's evolving faster than our divine male Gemini. Our divine male Gemini is a little bit stuck. I think he's stuck on his ideals about what he wants a relationship to be like, okay? Now, like I said, when they come back together just to talk, I feel like this is going to be a brief exchange, okay? Nothing fancy, nothing too sentimental. I feel like they're still going to be sort of locked in that energy, or at least one of them will be, okay? Where they're also going to be like, even though they act like they don't really care or they don't really want to continue, or I just feel like they're just going to be still holding on to each other. Like they're still longing and holding on for each other, if that makes any sense. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get it out the best way I can. That, you know, the best way that it, you know, it will make sense, okay? All in all, to have this work out, because I don't think it's not that it's not going to work out or that they're not going to come back together at some point. I just feel like when they do, it'll be after they sort of drop this ego and these ideals about love. You can only do that if you embark on your spiritual journey and you grow as a person and you want to evolve as a person spiritually, okay? And until, I feel like until that happens, those two energies of this divine male and this divine female are not going to sync up exactly the way they should to be ideal, to be the perfect energy level, okay? But going forward, I do feel like she's holding the key here. I feel like she could come around more. I feel like she'd be the one to compromise more here, okay? And if she's in this state where, you know, yes, she's moving on and she's doing all these things for herself and she's trying to evolve, she's still thinking about him, and she knows that she can't, like, break this, okay? But I feel like she will come back at him and go, look, if you want to be with me, cut the BS. This is what I want. This is what you want. Let's find a happy medium here, and let's see what can be of this, okay? So I feel like, you know, she'll be the one to come with the ideas and the power and the you know, the shaking up that this needs, especially for him, okay? So let's get out a Whispers of Love card. Okay, turn on your heart light. Reflect on a time when you experienced love. Okay, so this sort of tells you to go back to your other relationships too. Think about your past relationships before this happened, or maybe even current relationships. You guys could be dating other people. That absolutely happens. So you think about your previous relationships. Was there patterns at all in those previous relationships? This is sort of telling you to examine your previous relationships. If you see any patterns that are reflecting even in this divine union, even the smallest things, it's sort of telling you to evaluate that, okay? Try to find the reasoning and everything when it comes to your past relationships. Not compare, lightly compare, okay, the two relationships right here, but it's more about how did you feel? Did you feel that divine connection with other people? Did you feel it only here? Okay, so it's just sort of like a reflective thing. So turn your heart light on. That also means be open to love again, okay? And whether it's this or it's other relationships that you may need to have before this transpires. Okay, guys? Let me know what you think about this reading, and if you'd like to see any more twin flame readings, please just hit me up in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next reading. This has been Lizzie the Lightworker.